We good, Lindsay?
Yep.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our fourth quarter update for MedMutual 25-26. Goodness gracious. A few housekeeping items. Everyone will be on mute this morning. If you have a question, please type it in the questions box, and I will be monitoring that through the presentation and facilitate that side of things. If you'd like to connect with me at any time, here is my information. This will also be recorded today. So at any time, you can go on the Broker Hub and view that again for anything that may have been missed. At this time, I'd like to pass it over to Sarah Jansen with MedMutual. Sarah?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing us to present this morning. I know everybody is incredibly busy. So while I fumble about and get my presentation up, give me a second here. All righty, can we see that?
Yes.
Okay. I historically have. Here we go. Yay. Okay, again, thanks so much for jumping on because it is a very, very, very busy time of year. So we will be as brief as we possibly can. Naturally, you're free to ask any questions. And as Rob said, this is being recorded and is available to you at a later date. Besides myself on the call today is Matt Butcher. He is our SDC sales consultant. I'll be talking about Cozy Balance Solutions, as well as some of the other enhancements and changes that have occurred with the 2 to 50 market space and somewhat of the 51 to 99. And then Matt will be reviewing our dental plans and their value adds, life and disability options, and then the quoting requirements for each. So this is kind of a dated slide, so forgive me for this, but I just wanted to kind of pull it up and let you take a look at, what has been released in terms of the renewals for 1 to 50. They're all out with the exception of ACA. That is expected to be released next week, but everything is out. And of course, you know that you work with your Cornerstone broker advisor on negotiating renewal increases, etc. So all of that is handled by those fine folks. Pardon me. This is somewhat of a busy slide, and so I apologize for that. So I will try to, move through it that makes sense. Basically, what they're doing is they're outlining the new plan options, the first line item for Cozy BP as well as Balance Solutions. You'll see there are 3 copay, 2 HSA. We mirror our Cozy MIWA plans in the Balance Solutions market segment. So any changes that happen almost always occur in both platforms. So you'll see the new plans that are being on for January 1st of 2026. We are changing the out-of-pocket maximums on a few of those plans that have been in place. In order to check those benefit highlight sheets, you can go to Cozy BP, www.cozybp.com for the benefit highlight summaries, as well as my broker link for Balance Solutions. We have for Cozy only 2 new HRAs. They are listed here. As I said before, the benefit summaries will be available on cozybp.com. And then, sorry guys, we are introducing the first of the year, a virtual visit, $0 copay, and it's called the Telehealth at Minute Clinic Virtual Care. I have a slide later on in the deck that goes into greater detail on that, so we'll kind of table that. The network, as far as currently, we have had CleCare and MedFlex options for Cozy MIWA as well as Balance Solutions. Because they have not had any traction really to speak of, they are phasing those now. So with Cozy as well as Balance Solutions, it will only be our SuperMed Plus network, which is our large medical mutual proprietary network in the state of Ohio. Our wrap network, of course, is Cigna National PPO. So that happens the first of the year as well. Our share funding arrangements have been removed. Again, not a lot of traction there, so they have been removed from COSI BP as well as the member choice pairings. Member choice pairings were just basically giving an employer the option to pair two plans with the same deductible with varying levels of pharmacy and copays and coinsurance. Those are being phased out as well because, again, very little traction. Okay, this always happens. Let me do this. Seems to help when I do this. No, it does not. Okay. All right, here we go. Balance solutions. This is the next slide in lineup. I just wanted to remind you guys that we do have in the 10 to 50 market, the balance solutions, which is our level funded solution. It is a 12-month fixed premium. At the end of the contract, the group renews. There is a audit done, kind of a just kind of a relook back in terms of what the premium was versus what the claims used, and employer can get up to 66% of that refunded back in the form of a credit. There's also a $150 implementation credit for each contract at new business. So, that is available in your 10 to 50. Note that it becomes more competitive than COSI MIWA if there are 20 plus on the plan, and that we will not quote both. It's one or the other. So, but still available. And I'm having more problems. Okay, we'll do it this way. All right, this one is the quoting processes that we have in place. And basically what this says is if for a minimum of 7+ contracts enrolling, we will allow the census in lieu of the medical applications. We don't need the renewal. We just need this information here in addition to the level census that we have. That is our template that we must have it completed for us and sent up to underwriting. If your group has less than 7 contracts on the plan, then it is still going to be medically underwritten through form fire apps that are sent in electronically. This is the email address that it comes to. Your broker advisors at Cornerstone are well familiar with this and handle that quoting process for you. Bundling incentives. This has been in place for some time, and basically this is a one-time credit. It's not really a bundling per se where percentages are given. For groups that add ancillary lines, whether it be dental, life, or indemnity, they are able to get a one-time credit applied to their invoice. The credit amount is based on the enrollment within that ancillary line. Dental, life, and also indemnity. The dental and life employer sponsored, and the savings range from anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000 depending on how large the group is. So this is available for new groups as well as renewing groups. So if you have a group in place, has medical, and is now adding an ancillary line, one of these ancillary lines that apply, then they are eligible for the one-time credit. This is telehealth on-demand visits. And this is very important to take note that this is for virtual visits only, and it's for the mini clinic care facilities. So available 24/7, including holidays to members 18 months and older, right? You would first have to locate, where this mini clinic is through the CVS pharmacy, and then you would schedule that call through that website in order to get, the opportunity to talk to a physician on the service. So this is really medical treatment for conditions such as colds and respiratory infections, minor burns or lacerations, things of that nature. Again, this is available for 51 to 99 and has been 7/1. but beginning of the year, first of the year of 2026, it will be for virtual appointments only for our 2 to 50 balance solutions as well as Cozy Miwa. Keep in mind, if a member goes into the physical location, it is now a copay. It is no longer the $0 copay for virtual visits. Okay. This is kind of a repeat of, well, it is a repeat on the Minute Clinic virtual care, and basically it just repeats what I just said. But also wanted to let you know that we also offer a mental health care virtual as well as in-person sessions through Sondermind. Sondermind works with other carriers as well. And basically it is a website that you go in, fill out a questionnaire, so to speak, on the issue that is in need, the variety of needs that may be needed treatment for. And from that point forward, you're working with a counselor on whether it's a virtual treatment or if it's an in-person treatment. So that's available for your Cozy Miwa as well as your Balance Solutions platform. This is something I just wanted to kind of throw out there just to let you know that we are launching a new employer site that is replacing Employer Link, and it's called MedMutual Employer Dashboard. And it's going to be very, it's enhanced in the sense that it's going to give you, more information, not only about your groups, but you can pull up your book of business, et cetera. It's much more sophisticated than what you have with Employer Link. With Employer Link, you'd have to go in for each one of those accounts and do your special password that was given to you, for access within that account. So that's available. It's coming out in phases in 2026, actually, expanded launch. What we're doing now is piloting it with certain groups just to get a feel for, its efficiency and what's working and what's not. But it is coming. As I said before, it gives you more abilities in terms of, managing your groups. So there's more to come on that. Real important just to always repeat this, I think, when you're talking to your groups about, seeking services and where to seek service and what's the most prudent way of doing so. If you have a situation very much like I was talking with the mini clinic above, and, maybe you're at home and you are not able to visit, make that virtual call or whatever the case may be. You may very well be just on a phone, somewhere and there's an accident. If the member calls calls the nurse line 24/7 and the nurse tells them that to go to the emergency room, if the member then goes to the emergency room and for whatever reason it's not coded as an emergency, it will be paid as an emergency. So it's just kind of a security system in which to not only get consultation on what's going on, treating minor conditions, et cetera, but also just kind of a checkpoint if you're taking your child or they're taking their child in and the nurse tells them to do so, it will be paid accordingly. Just a reminder, Total Health is Total Health, and basically what it is for, our chronic disease management situation, COPD, diabetes, et cetera. We have no member cost sharing for diabetes testing supplies, et cetera. And all of these resources available to members. Important also to emphasize that, it requires an active registration. In other words, so you have to call. It's not something that we always will pick up from claims, especially if if a member wants to be proactive about managing his chronic or her chronic illness. Going kind of fast here, so sorry about that, but just want to make sure we get it all in. And then, of course, this is Weight Watcher discount program that's been in place for some time. It's very popular. It is now available, through the web, digital. You can go into studio. It's very flexible in terms of, drawing engagement. There's a 50% savings on the cost of the standard Weight Watcher yearly program. So this is the information on program enrollment. You can contact, via telephone or go to the website there, and then do a registration process. And they will respond to you within 3 business days to complete the enrollment. I think this is my last slide. Basically, this is our new smoking cessation program, and it is more sophisticated in the sense that it gives a handheld smart sensor, which is kind of a gauge for smokers that, I guess regulate and also shows what the carbon monoxide that they're taking in terms of smoking, right? So it might be an incentive if they see some progress, if they start to back off on, the habit, and they see some progress in terms of their carbon monoxide levels drop, then, it could be a good aid, in order to get to manage the habit. So it's available December 1st of last year. However, growing in popularity, and information here, you can go to that website for more information and registration. Oh, okay, I've got this down now, Matt. I can work it. You
All right,
ready?
well, thank you. Yes,
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it, Sarah. And good morning, everyone. Matt Butcher with Superior Dental Care, and of course, part of the Medical Mutual family. To echo Sarah's words earlier, we'll keep it as brief as we can. We wanted to leave plenty of time for questions at the end, so I've only got about 8 to 10 minutes, I'd say, of slides, and then, like I said, we'll open up to questions at the end. So we'll talk about the dental first. This is our service area. On the left here, obviously the state of Ohio. This is just kind of a reminder that anything that is MMO labeled, the products within MMO, the medical, the vision, the life, the disability, which we'll talk about here in a second. Just a reminder, the group has to be domiciled in the state of Ohio. The workforce can be scattered throughout, but the headquarters of the company has to be in the state of Ohio. When it comes to Superior Dental Care, we are able to write in any of the 3 states on the right: Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. All right, next slide, sir. All right, so shelf rates, which I would imagine that the audience here kind of predominantly participates in this segment, the 2 to 50. Anything 2 to 50 enrolled in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana, we are going to utilize our shelf rates, kind of our canned plans and rates for these products. Ohio is broken out into 2 separate segments. We have a 2 to 4 rate sheet, and we have a 5 to 50 rate sheet. Indiana, there's no differentiation. Same thing with Kentucky. You'll just use the same sheet, whether they have 2 or whether they have 40. So Ohio is really the only one that I just want to make you aware of, that it is broken out into 2 separate segments. Speaking of our rate sheets, our rates for 2026 have held. So the rate sheets that you've been utilizing all of this year, please continue to use those. We sent out a broker e-blast about a week or 2, kind of communicating this. You should have received that. If you did not, please feel free to reach out to me to make sure we put you on that list. You can reach out to your Cornerstone rep as well. We want to make sure that you all are getting timely communication from Superior Dental Care. Just kind of a reminder as far as what our locks are, our list of covered services, and kind of where the bigger things kind of fall. Implants are always going to be covered in major. Perio and endo will always be in basic. And the big thing with adult and child ortho being covered, anytime you have a plan with orthodontia and you will need 10 enrolled, we automatically do cover adult orthodontia as well. Everything runs off of a calendar year benefit. And with our 2 to 50 plans, the highest UCR we can utilize would be the 80th percentile. If you do have anything above 50, please send that to your Cornerstone rep. In turn, they will send that to us, and we are happy to get a more of an underwritten quote in which we can really do whatever needs to be done. We can match really anything in a current contract. Our UCR can go up to the 95th, and we, of course, have the options to move perio, endo, implants, all that around to match the current contract in force. All right, Sarah? This is just kind of a reminder as far as our coverage nationwide. We talked about where the group itself has to be domiciled, but the workforce can be scattered throughout. We have our own proprietary network within, but then outside of that, we wrap 2 national networks around our proprietary network to give everybody access across the country. You can see the stats on the left. In Ohio alone, we have 17,000 access points in Ohio, and you're always able to use our Find a Dentist tool on our website or through our mobile app. Reach out to your Cornerstone rep, reach out to me. We're happy to look at any providers that we need to check to see if they're in our network. But just want to kind of stress this. I think sometimes superior dental care kind of gets pigeonholed in to certain groups, but I just want to stress that we are able to write groups really that have a workforce nationwide. All right, Sarah. Some of the value-added benefits, these are already in place on any fully insured plans. So the small group rates and plans that we just talked about, it's on those as well as anything 51 up. The only thing that this is not on would be anything self-funded. But some of the benefits that we have on these plans is already built into the pricing. We have our free second opinion, which is very popular, and it's exactly what it sounds like. If you are given something by a dentist and you're not quite sure that you need to have that done, give us a call. We will hook you up with an in-network provider, and he or she will, I guess, kind of say yay or nay on that. So definitely utilize that. It's very, very popular. Again, if you just feel like something's not right, give us a call and we'll get that second opinion set up for you. We do offer discounts on cosmetic and non-covered dental services. Teeth whitening is the big one. It's not covered on any plans, but we do offer discounts to in-network providers. We have discount cards for both iMed and prescription. I want to stress that this is not a fully insured plan. It's just simply a discount card. It's part of your superior dental card. So keep that handy. Same thing with True Hearing Aid discount plan. And then we also have ID theft resolution. Sarah? Okay, MedMutual Life. So this pertains to the life and disability. We write that as well. So just a little bit about MedMutual Life. This is a MedMutual product. It's on MedMutual paper. We do have some help with our long-term disability from the Hartford on the back end, but it is on MedMutual paper. Just as a reminder, the group has to be domiciled in the state of Ohio because these are MedMutual products. We're no longer talking about SDC, so we want to be back in the state of Ohio. Everything is local. Everything is in-house processing claims and service. There's no general 800 number. There's no IVR, very quick claims turnaround. So this is something that we decided to kind of offer, at least mine, I think Sarah sold in the past, but it really started to stress as kind of a bundled solution for kind of a one-stop shop for all the lines of coverage for groups. Sarah? Life insurance, pretty straightforward. That's something that we are offering really to all the groups. It can be virgin coverage or we'll match a contract that's in force. We offer the sup life, voluntary life, dependent life insurance. Again, very quick claims turnaround, averaging less than 3 days. Not much more on life insurance. It's pretty straightforward. Sarah? Disability insurance, short-term, long-term. I mentioned earlier that on the long-term disability, we do have some help from the Hartford on the back end, but again, it's on medical mutual paper. As far as matching plan designs, that's generally not a problem. We're very, very flexible in that regard. And again, I want to stress that everything is local. Everything is we've got people that are dedicated solely to disability insurance. So we're able to turn around claims very, very quick. That's something that I think kind of differentiates us from the other providers is we are able to turn around things very, very quickly for people. Sarah? That's right. So the last slide, what we need to quote life and disability, and everybody, it's really no different than anybody else to as far as what you would need to quote with the other carriers. So you would probably already have the census with the information that we need, obviously the name, where they're located, the SIC code, current. If you have renewal rates, that's great. It's going to allow us to get more competitive with underwriting. Of course, what effective date, the commission. If you're wanting something other than our standard graded scale, please make sure to notate that. And then the general data that you would really find on any type of census, birthday, gender. For quoting certain lines, we will need the salary frequency, benefit amount, and items like that. But again, it's no really different than anything else that you'd be quoting with the other carriers, so you already have it. So we would be happy to take a look at really all the ancillary lines in conjunction with what Sarah would quote on the front end with medical. Sarah?
That pretty much concludes our slide deck. Does you want to open it up to questions, Rob, or any comments
Sure.
anybody wants to make? Sure.
If anybody has any questions, please go ahead and type those in the Q&A chat. I will monitor that. I don't see anything that has come through yet. But I'll give it another minute or so here to see if anybody sends anything through. And if not, we'll end this call. Well, I don't see anything coming through. So if anybody does have any questions that they would like me to send over to Sarah and team to complete, go ahead and send me an email. Again, my email is rbilius, that's BILIUS @crnstone.com, and I'll get those questions answered for you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Have a
Take
good
care.
day.